Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I'm bringing you my 6th update on my team project pan. It is a rather late update, I know, but I have been a bit busy lately, so I am finally bringing you my June update. So this is all the progress that I made on these products in June. Also, today is going to be quarterly refresh, so we are rolling on into the 3rd quarter of the year. Cannot believe how quickly this year is going. So I have all my products in my basket in front of me here. It is literally overflowing. There's that many products in there. I made some amazing progress on some of these products over the past month. So we have a fair few empties to go through, so stay tuned. But before we get into the update, if you are new around here and you do enjoy watching project panning videos, I hope you'll consider subscribing down below. And without further ado, let's jump on into the update. So update wise, I am going to go through all of my products. We're going to do the update first. So we'll close off quarter 2 and then we will roll on into quarter 3 and I'll let you know what my products for quarter 3 are going to be. So starting at the top of the spreadsheet, we have primers. So this year so far, I've only used up 3 primers. The past month I was working on my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas primer. So this is like a deluxe sample size. So over the past month, I used 3.21 grams of this one and it is getting very close to being finished. I'm finding that when I pump it, I have to do like 1.5 to 2 pumps to get enough for my full face, because it's just slowly getting to the point where one pump is not pushing out enough product, if that makes sense. Like when I first started this, I only needed like 1/2 to 3/4 of a pump, and now it's getting to the point where I need like 2 full pumps for enough to come out. So it's definitely getting on its last legs. I'm getting very close to having this one finished up. This bottle here has lasted me a very decent amount of time. I think it's a very decent size sample. So if you are wanting to try the Liquid Silk Canvas, I don't think you should be concerned about not getting a good understanding of whether you like this product or not if you do find yourself coming across one of these little 10 gram samples. Moving on to foundations. Now foundations, I'm working on the Oma Beauty Say What foundation. You guys know how I feel about this. I'm not a great lover of this one, but I am determined to get through it. I think we're sitting down around here on the bottle. So when I shine my torch through it, it's not sitting like completely level flat. So the deepest part is probably sitting like down around here. And then the highest point is like up to where, like just under where it says Oma, that goes around the bottle. So I've probably used about 1/3 of this one, I would say. So we're definitely getting there. I wish it would take less time to get through it. Every time I use this, I only use 1 pump of it. I find the pump on this only pumps out like quite a small amount. So I use 1 pump of this and then I mix it with a little squirt of my Ultraviolet Dream Screen. It's like the tinted sunscreen that I have from Ultraviolet. So I mix the two together and it kind of brings down the coverage on this one, because I find this one can be quite thick on my skin and quite heavy, and it's kind of ups the coverage on the Dream Screen and makes it last a little bit longer throughout the day. So I'm hopeful that I can have both of those two finished up by the end of the year, because I am not a lover of both of them. And I guess for everyday makeup to work, it doesn't entirely bother me how they wear on my face. But I will say, by the time I get home, my foundation doesn't look the greatest. It doesn't look the greatest. It's definitely overdue for being like removed by the time I get home from work, but it is what it is. And I just really want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth, because between the two of them, it's probably around $100 worth of foundation. So I feel like I'm wasting it if I just throw them out. Oh my gosh. I did total up the like the usage, but instead of minusing, I accidentally plussed them. So give me a second. So I used 4.73 grams of that one, and I think this is a 30 ml bottle, so it probably sits probably around maybe the 30 to 50 grams worth of product in there. Likewise with my concealer, I am working on the Oma Beauty Stay Woke concealer. So the foundation is the Say What foundation, and this is the Stay Woke concealer. This one is definitely getting close to being completely used up. I want to say maybe 1 to 2 months on this one of like good solid usage, and it will be done. Now, I was thinking over the past couple of weeks that it's getting to the point where I really could take the stopper out, but I decided not to take the stopper out now because I was so close to the quarterly refresh. So rather than taking the stopper out and having a lot of air going into it and it like not staying as stable as it probably could, I decided to keep the stopper in. And I just thought, you know, because it's going back in my drawer, I'll leave the stopper in for now. But when it comes to the final quarter where I throw everything back in, I'll probably take the stopper out straight away. But I just thought because it's going back on the shelf for a bit of time, I will leave the stopper in there. And especially because I know some concealers, once you take the stopper out, it doesn't like close off properly and it doesn't seal properly. So I'll leave it in there for now. I'm very excited that I might actually have a concealer or two finished by the end of the year, because I'm also getting quite close on finishing up the Kosas concealer as well. So over the last month, again, I plussed it instead of minused it. Over the last month, I used 0.53 of a gram. Okay, moving on to powders. Over the past month, I was working on 2 powders. One of the powders, I knew that there was no way on earth that I would even hit pan on it, because when I rolled it in, it was basically brand new and it's like a baked product. So I knew it would take forever to finish and get through and even just to hit pan on. That's my Pat McGrath Under Eye powder. This is in it's totally rubbed off on the back. I believe it's Fair that this one is in. So it is a baked product, and I use this to set under my eyes. That's the only place I use it, and I only use quite a small amount, but you can definitely see that I have worn the dome off on it, and I used I always laugh when I weigh products like this, but I used 0.11 of a gram of this one. This one's going to take an eternity to get through, but it's fine. I just wanted to throw it in and track it, and it worked well with my face powder. Speaking of my face powder that I was working on was my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder, and I have the Fair one. Now, last month I said I probably wouldn't have this one finished by the end of the quarter, but I would be very close, and that's correct. So this is how much powder we have left. So it's just the ring around the outside. There we go. Yeah, you can just see the ring around the outside. It is starting to wear down like the whole way around, but I do think that I will repress this one before the final quarter, just so everything's in the middle and then I can power through it in that final quarter. But yeah, I definitely think it'll be done by the end of the year. And as I said, I think when I rotated this one in, I was like, oh, it's going to be very close. I didn't think that I would have it done by the end of the quarter, but it will definitely be out of my collection by the end of the year. I actually really like this powder. I would definitely consider repurchasing this one. I think it's a great powder. And the powder, I used 1.52 grams of that one, so a fairly decent amount if I do say so myself. My eyeshadow primer, that's like at the bottom of the basket. Where is it? Eyeshadow primer, I am working on the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Base. This is in, again, I think it's either called Fair 1 or Base 1 or something like that. I used 0.56 of a gram of this one, so half a gram. I think that's an incredible amount. I use this every time I do my eyeshadow at the moment. And as you can see, I don't know whether you're going to be able to notice, but it's definitely starting to lower in level. I've completely cleaned the top of the cap out, and I am now starting to work like around the edges to try and bring the level down around the edges, and then I can like focus solely on the center bit there. So I'm definitely making good progress on this one, I think. I don't think it's going to be done by the end of the year, just given that I only need a very tiny amount of this to do both of my eyes. So I think this one you'll probably see come into next year, but I'll definitely be quite close, I think, to having it finished by the end of the year. There probably won't be that much left going into next year. My setting spray that I was working on for this quarter was my Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. I didn't use this one over the past month. You guys know that I wasn't really in an overwhelming urgency. There wasn't an overwhelming urgency to get this one used up, just based solely on the fact that it's so expensive. So I just wanted to use it really organically when I felt like I wanted like an extra glow to my face, but it wasn't something that I was powering through and using every single day. And that being said, this isn't really the kind of setting spray that I would use for everyday makeup, just because it is more of like a glowy, illuminating setting spray rather than something that's really going to like make my makeup stick on my face. So yes, this is a brilliant setting spray. It's beautiful, but god damn, it's hella expensive. It's so expensive. Brow products. Now I was working on my Kosas Brow Pop and my Benefit Give Me Brow. Now the Kosas Brow Pop, I bloody love this eyebrow pencil. It is so good. And it's actually lasting me a fairly decent amount of time. So I rotated this in brand new when I started this quarter. And this is how much I have left after the quarter. So I've been using this every single time I've worn my makeup, basically probably between 5 to 7 days a week for the last 3 months. So this one has been getting a really good workout. And I do think that there is still a really decent amount of product left in here. I could probably get maybe another 2 to 3 months out of this one, I reckon. It's a really nice formula. I really like how it's that nice in between of like too creamy and too firm. Like, you know when you get those eyebrow pencils that it looks like you've smeared shit all over your eyebrows because it's far too creamy, but then you also get the flip side of that, which if they're too firm, it scratches your eyebrows and it hurts. This is like the perfect in between and I really like it. Love the packaging. I do wish that it was refillable, but I do enjoy the packaging and it was fairly reasonably priced as well. And I think a decent value considering how much time and usage I'm getting out of this. It's like a good level of usage compared to those micro fine brow pencils. I find I fly through them. They give you an amazingly beautiful natural effect on your eyebrows, but I always find I fly through them because they're so super fine, whereas this one has, it's a good like compromise. It's a good meet in the middle. Benefit Gimme Brow, I used 0.36 of a gram of this one, which I think is actually a really decent amount considering this is a brow pomade or a brow like fixing gel. I thought I was getting really close to having this one finished, but I decided just over this past week to pop the stopper out. And the stopper in these is actually surprisingly easy to pop out. So I popped the stopper out just to have a look to see how much product was in there. There's actually still a fairly decent amount of product in here. So I am going to keep it in my collection, but I think it's definitely the amount that I could probably get used up in that last quarter. So I am going to keep it in my collection, and I have like kind of mixed up the product in there, so it is starting to come out on the wand again, as opposed to basically it coming out empty and with no product on it. So I definitely am going to keep this one, just value for money, and I'm tired ass and I want to make sure I'm getting everything. So you'll definitely see this one in the last quarter, and hopefully I can get the last little bit used up then. Lip products. Now lip products wasn't all that successful this past month, unfortunately. I was really hoping that I would get at least another one product done and dusted, but that didn't happen, which is really disappointing. We'll see how we go in the last quarter, and maybe we might be able to get maybe another 1 or 2 done in that last quarter, the ones that rotate back in that only had a little bit left. So we'll start off with my ultraviolet lip balm. I was focusing on the nude color. I used 0.81 grams of this one this past month. This one, again, I forgot, I left it at work. So basically every time on the weekend or in the morning when I was doing my makeup, it was at work, so I couldn't use it. There still is an air bubble in here. So once I hit that air bubble, it's probably going to drop in level like a decent amount, because it looks like it's a very decent sized air bubble in there, but there's still like this much product before I even find the air bubble. So we'll see how we go with that. Maybe we might be able to rotate this one back in at some point. If not, it'll be definitely the last quarter. And hopefully I can get it done and dusted, because I was really hoping that I would get 2 of these ultraviolet lip balms used up this year. Haven't used any up yet, which is disappointing. Then we have my Lime Crime Choker lipstick. Now, I was doing very poorly on this lipstick at the start of the month, and then over like probably the last week and a half, I was like, damn it, Bettina, like pull your finger out. And I was really focusing on using this like consistently. So based on that, I used 0.76 of a gram of this one. And, you know, I would have definitely preferred the level to be a lot lower. But I think when I compare how this looks to when I first rolled it in, I'll see if maybe I can insert a little clip of how high it was when I first rotated it in at the start of the quarter. And we might be able to at least compare and see how much progress I've made on it. But even based on weight, I've used a gram of this one. So over a gram of this one. So I think that's a really decent amount of product. Does it say, so net weight is 3.5 grams of product. So I used up a whole gram of that in the last quarter, which, you know, on the grand scheme of things is not too bad. I think if I was to try and use this one up by the end of the year, I probably would have to use this one solely for the last quarter. And there's still, wait, maybe I could use this one up. Maybe I could use this one solely for the last quarter. It would just depend on how I go on my lipstick that I'm rotating in to replace this one. If I managed to use that one up, I could definitely use this one as the only lipstick in the last quarter. Otherwise, I would have 2. So we'll see how we go on the lipstick that's coming in to replace this one. And the last one that I need to update you on is my Fenty lip gloss. This is the Gloss Bomb in Confetti. I was really hopeful that I would get this one done, but I just totally neglected it. Again, this was one that I kind of lost at work and I had to find it again. So I didn't get much use out of it. I only used 0.4 of a gram of this one, which is probably only maybe 1-2 uses, which is very disappointing because I do actually really like these Fenty glosses. And when I focus on them, I can get through them very quickly. But there is probably about half of this one left. So again, we'll see how we go. If I can manage to get through the lip gloss that's coming in to replace this one, I might bring back either this Gloss Bomb or the one that I had in the first quarter and just get some use out of them. See how we go on both of them in the last quarter. But hopefully, I'm really hopeful that I can use up at least maybe one, like the one that I was using in quarter 1, I made more progress on. So maybe if I could at least use up that one or both of them, I would definitely be happy with that. Skincare wise was both successful and a bit of a fail this past month. So this past month, I actually was working on my Sand and Sky enzyme polish powder. I used 4.7 grams of this one. So this one's going to take me forever. It's taking ages. But because it's it's a loose powder in there and it's a very lightweight powder, so it is going to take me a while because this is a huge jar. This is supposed to have 60 grams of the powder in it. And like I said, the powder is very lightweight. It's very finely milled. It's almost like the consistency of flour. So it is taking me forever. It's taking so long. But I do think that at least if I keep up with the progress of maybe like 4 to 5 grams a month, I'll like keep chipping away at that. I believe it's currently sitting down like around here. So we are, oh yeah, when I shine it up to the light, let me just, yes. So we're down to here. So we're definitely below halfway now, which is very exciting. But this is going to be like the Lush No Dry Shampoo of 2023 for sure. Because it's just taking so long. So that's that one. And then I decided last month, because I finished up my doTERRA mud mask, I decided that I was going to rotate back in the Aven moisture mask, and I managed to get this one done. Very happy with the progress. So the last, I think 3 times I used this, I actually used it on my feet because I decided that I didn't like it for my face anymore. So I used it as a bit of a foot mask. So I put it on my feet and then put my feet in like some plastic bags and then put socks on them, or put them in my Ugg boots, and then had a shower like after, say, maybe like an hour or 2. And you know, it was all right to use it up like that. I definitely think it was past the point of being okay to use on my face, but I did manage to get it used up, and it did provide some nice moisturization to my feet. So I'm glad that I found a purpose and a use for it, and I am so glad that this is out of my collection. So this takes me to, actually, unfortunately, this takes me to only 2 skincare products used up this year so far. I'm really hoping that maybe I can get it to at least 4. But yeah, that takes me to 2 now. Nail polishes. Again, nail polishes was a bit of a fail, and I'm very disappointed in myself because normally I'm really quite good at panning nail polishes, or at least like making good progress on my nail polishes, but that just didn't happen this quarter. I was working on the Essie nail polish color in Bangle Jangle, and then I was also working on my Holo Taco Peely Base Coat and Glossy Top Coat, or the Glossy Taco. So these are the 3 that I was working on. The Essie nail polish color, I feel like it's 1 or 2 uses off being finished. So, you know, it wasn't a total fail, but I definitely, if I painted my fingernails more regularly than I did, I would have had it finished. I think I only painted my fingernails once and my toes once this month. So if I just did probably either one of them once or twice more, like if I just did another round of my toes and my fingernails, I would have definitely had this one done. So you can see it is sitting like around here. The weight that I used over the past month was 0.82 of a gram. So almost a whole gram, which is a decent amount of nail polish to use up in 1 month. But like I said, these close to have it completely finished. So I do think that if I can rotate that back in at some point, or at least have this as my primary focus in the last quarter, that I'll easily have it done within a couple of uses, like within a week probably. And then in relation to my top coat and base coat, so in relation to my Peely base coat, I didn't actually use this one this past month because, again, my nails were playing up a little bit, so I resorted to using my treatment as my base coat, so I didn't use that one. And then my Holo Taco, I used 0.36 of a gram of this one, so I think that's probably 1 use. It definitely probably was only 1 use, but again, you can see that the level is starting to be visible, and you can see that it's now starting to drop, which is nice to see. So that's nail polishes. Unfortunately, no rollouts in that category, which is what it is. Fragrances, again, no rollouts. Fragrances, again, no rollouts in that category, but I was working on my Marc Jacobs Daisy Dream perfume. Over the past month, I used 10.48 grams of this one, and you can see that it is now well and truly below the flowers, and we're starting to get to the point where we are getting to the tapered part of the bottle. So if this one like at all comes back in, or if I bring it into a project next year, you're going to see the progress on it like quickly increase, or at least the level drop on it will increase rapidly as I get to the bottom of the bottle. So really like this perfume, and I will be putting it back into the collection for now, but I am very happy with the amount of progress that I've made on this one. This one has been sitting in my collection for, I want to say, Actually, it would be like 7 years now because I brought this on my honeymoon and that was like 7 years ago. Last but not least is my most successful category this month, and that's my hair care products. Now, I just want to say I didn't use up, I managed to use up some products in this category. Not one, not two, but 3 products. I managed to use up 3 hair care products this month. I never thought I would see the day where I, Bettina, could get through that many hair care products in 1 month. So I am gobsmacked. So let's start off with my dry shampoo. Lush No Doubt Dry Shampoo. I didn't make any progress on this one this month. You guys know I actually decant this into a ramekin and I use a powder brush to apply it to my hair. And it's at the point in my ramekin where it's not ready to be topped up just yet. So I need to like reduce the level on that one a little bit more, and then it will be knitting a top up. So I think next month we'll see weight drop on this one because I'll be getting close to needing a top up by the end of next month. So that one, no weight change on that one. Next, we have our TRESemmé Youth Boost Fullness Emulsion Spray. This is one of the products that I did manage to get completely finished, done and dusted, empty. So happy and glad to see this one gone. I actually started, well, I didn't completely start this one, but I rotated this one in and finished this one in this quarter, which I don't think I've ever had that happen to me in relation to a hair care item that I rotated in and finish it in the same quarter. And then the next one, which is another empty, is my Pureology Color Fanatic Multitasking Hair Beautifier. I was actually using this as like a heat protectant type product. So basically after every time I wash my hair, I would spray this in my hair before I blow dried it. Managed to get this one done as well. And I actually kind of really liked this product. By the end of it, I felt like it really made my hair feel like super nice and soft and like helped tame down the frizz somewhat. And last but not least of the products that I had in the quarterly rotation was my Argania hair oil, and this was in light. Now I was hoping to have it down to like the top of the label, and I did. I think I'm just a hair higher than the label, but I did use 0.68 grams of this one over the past month, which given it's a hair oil, I'm very happy with that progress. And I have like super fine hair, so I can't use a lot of hair oil at once. So I'm happy with that progress. Now, you may be a little bit confused because I've only mentioned 2 empties there. I actually, throughout the month, I finished up my Bumble and Bumble BB Thickening Dry Spun Finish Spray. So I kind of rotated this back in once I finished up these 2. And this one was in the first quarter of the project. So I just thought that I would mention to you guys that I have finished it up. It's from the first quarter. It has already been in the product rotation for a quarter already. And I went back to it once I used up both of those products. So those are the 3 products that I managed to get finished up this quarter in the hair care category. And that takes me to 4 hair care products that I have used up in 2022. I think that's the most hair care products I've ever used up in a year. The last category that I just wanted to quickly run through with you is my sample category. You guys know that my goal for samples this year is I want to use up at least 100 samples. So I'm trying to split it 25 samples per quarter, but I didn't decide that till the start of this quarter. So I was playing a little bit of catch up from the first quarter. This quarter I used up 7 samples, so we'll just quickly run through them. The first one is the Drunk Elephant TLC Framboise Glycolic Night Serum. This was one of the little 5 ml samples. This actually took me ages to get through. The La Roche-Posay Retinol B3 Serum. The Go-To Much Brighter Skin Hydrate and Brighten. This is like a vitamin C serum. The Clinique Super Primer. CosRX Propolis Light Cream. Then we also have the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer in Light Fair. And the Westman Atelier, now let me just confirm what these are called. The Westman Atelier Squeaky Clean Lip Balm in Pipsqueak. That's just a little sample there. So that's another, how many did I say I used up? 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's another 7 samples to my total. So that takes me to 55 samples completely used up this year so far. So I'm very happy with how I'm tracking. I am a little bit ahead of schedule. I am going to still try and get through 25 samples this quarter, or 25 plus this quarter, but the minimum that I want to try and get through is 25. So I will pop those samples in my empties. And yeah, if you guys want to know about any of the empties in this project, whether I would repurchase or my thoughts on them, then check out my empties. That should be coming in a couple of weeks. Who knows when I'm going to film that, but it'll be coming at some point. So that is my progress for update number 6. Now let's get on into the refresh. So this is going to be, I'm going to say a full face refresh, but there are a few items in a few categories that will be coming over from update 6. So let's go back up to the top of the list and we'll roll through what's coming in for quarter 3. Starting at the top of the list is a little bit boring, but I am going to bring over my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. The only reason why this one is coming over into the next quarter with me is because I can't find the primer. I swear I had another primer in my collection and I was planning on bringing that into quarter 3, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to continue focusing on this one, and hopefully as I'm going about my business, it might pop up in my collection. I don't know, it might be in like a overnight bag or something like that. I can't quite remember where I put it. So I'm just going to continue focusing on this one. So that one's coming in. For foundations, I am going to bring in my Ultraviolet Dream Screen Tinted Veil. Now, I want to kind of get your guys, I just want to kind of get your opinion on this and what you guys would prefer. This is going to be my primary focus for the next quarter, the Ultraviolet Dream Screen Tinted Veil. But you have heard me say that I don't like using this by itself, and I do mix it with the Oma Beauty Say What Foundation. So I am going to continue to do that. I am going to continue to mix these two together. So let me know down in the comments box whether going forward into quarter 3, you would like me to update you every month on both of these foundations and weight-wise and continue tracking them, or whether you would just like to hear about the focus for the next quarter. Let me know down in the comments, but this is going to be the focus, but I will be mixing it with the Oma. For concealer, we have a brand new concealer coming in, and that is my Nabla Close-Up Concealer. I have it in the color Light Ivory. I did get this one for Christmas. This concealer is actually it's quite liquidy. So I'm interested to know how much progress I end up making on this one over the next quarter, but I definitely will be tracking it. I don't think this one's going to be done by the end of the year. If I do finish up any by the end of the year, it's going to either be the Oma or the Kosas. For powder, I am actually a little bit excited about this. I don't know how this powder is going to go mixed with the foundations that I've chosen, but I am going to bring in my Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I did buy this as like an extra treat for myself around Christmas time. I went through like a stage where I felt like I wanted to buy like a full face of new stuff, and I ended up buying this with like a new foundation and a couple of other new products, and I've barely even touched this because I've been so determined using up other products. Like I really wanted to get through my Nakia Joy powder, and then I really wanted to make some progress on my airbrush Flawless Finish from Charlotte Tilbury. So this one hasn't really had much use on it. So I'm definitely interested to see how much progress I can make on this one throughout the next quarter, see how it mixes and works with my foundations and my oily skin. So I'll definitely keep you posted on this powder, but I'm excited. I like Hourglass products. I think Hourglass products are decent products. For eyeshadow primer, this is another boring one. I am going to rotate over my Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Primer purely because I don't have any other eyeshadow primer in my collection other than my glitter glue. Glitter glue is currently in Partners in Cream, but I just thought I'll just rotate this one over. Otherwise we're going to have an empty category. We may as well continue to focus on that one. Setting sprays. Setting spray, I'm going to bring in an old favorite, a tried and true. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This one is getting on a little bit. I think this one might be not from Christmas just gone, but Christmas the year before. It's definitely due to be rotated out of the collection, and I do have another bottle in my collection as well. So it makes sense to rotate this one in and try and get it done and dusted, used up. I can normally get through these fairly quickly. I think I'll have it done by the end of the quarter at least. Brow products. Now I don't want to do this, but I'm going to. Benefit Brow is coming back. I worked on this one for a lot of time last year. I have decided to bring it back in the hopes and the attempt and the dream of having it finished by the end of the year. I don't know whether that's going to happen, but I am very hopeful that I can have it done by the end of the year. Oh, wish me luck. Wish me luck. I have bad memories of trying to pan this one last year. It was a lot. It was a big effort and I didn't make it. For brow setting, I am going to bring in the Mecca Max. This is the Brow Guru Control Gel. I actually had this one in my makeup kit, but I purchased it like a while ago. So I decided that I'm just going to take it out and rotate it into my personal collection. I haven't used it much on anyone, and like I don't use the actual brush on someone. I put like disposables into, I take the brush out and put disposables in there. The same way you see makeup artists use mascara is how I use my brow gel. I use disposables and then use it on a client, but it is getting on in time, and I haven't used it on many people. So like it's probably like 3/4 or something of it left in there. So I don't want it to go to waste, and you know, it's actually a pretty good brow gel. It does give you like a little bit of that concrete feeling, but it does the job, and it's clear. We'll see how long it stays clear for though. I guess the beauty of using using products like this with disposables is it does stay nice and clean for longer, but as soon as you start using the actual brush in the product on yourself, it can get a little bit manky and gross. So you are forewarned in relation to that. Lip products, we have a full collection of lip products coming in for the next quarter. So starting off, we have a new ultraviolet lip balm coming in. This time we are going with the Rose lip balm, and I do already have a bit of progress on this one. You can kind of see, I don't know, can you see? You can kind of see through the packaging just under the blue section there. So maybe this might be one that I might have already made like enough progress on prior to rotating in that maybe it might be able to be finished by the end of the year, but we'll definitely see. I'm very hopeful. The only one that's very close is my clear one, which I had in Q1. I think that I could probably get that one finished by the end of the year, but the other ones, so far, they're proving very difficult. Lipstick, I am going to bring in an Hourglass Confession lipstick. This time I'm bringing in If Only. And I don't know if you can see there, like it's basically brand new, full, barely even touched. I've probably only used it a handful of times. This is how much lipstick is there. And these normally, when I focus on them, I normally can get them done fairly quickly, but it will just depend on like lip combo colors and different things like that, whether it's something that I naturally gravitate towards. Lip gloss coming in is the MAC Viva Glam Nikki lip gloss. This is like quite a bright pink, but it is probably one of the oldest lip glosses in my collection. So I just want to get some use out of it. And it is a MAC lip gloss. So I just don't want it to go to waste given that it's, you know, a little bit more expensive. And then for Liquid lipstick, I am going to bring in one of the mini KVD long-lasting, what are they called? The everlasting liquid lipstick in Lovesick. So it is just a little nude there. So I think that they might be able to be products that I can wear fairly regularly, especially given that I've basically chosen nudes for the main colors. So I'm hopeful that I can get through them as well. I really would like to get through maybe another 2 or 3 lip products this year. So I'm hopeful that maybe I can use up at least one in this quarter, and then maybe in the last quarter I can use up something that I've already made good progress on. Okay, skincare. I am going to bring in a mask. Well, actually, I'm bringing in 2 masks if I'm honest. So I'm bringing in both of these Mary Kay products. I'm still trying to clean out the last of the Mary Kay products in my collection. So the first one is the Mary Kay Deep Cleansing Charcoal Mask. So this is just a mud mask. Then the next one is the Mary Kay Hydrogel Eye Patches, and this has a set of 30 in it, and I think I probably have maybe used I want to say I've maybe used about 10 of them, if I recall correctly. I'm probably between 5 to 10, so we'll see how we go, but I could definitely get these done easily if I remember to use them. That's the main reason why this hasn't been used up as yet, is because I just always forget to grab them out. The only thing that probably will deter me is I do keep these in the fridge. Given we're in winter, I might have some difficulty with putting cold things under my eyes, but I'll see how I go. For nail polishes, these are the 3 that I am bringing in. So for base coat, I'm going to bring in my Kester Black Miracle Treatment base coat. Just because I've been using it a fair bit over the last couple of months, I thought it made sense to bring it into the project. For nail polish color, I am bringing in a full size of the Essie Mind Your Mittens. We'll see how we go with a full size. I'll be interested to know how much progress I can make on a full size in a quarter. Generally, up until now, I've been rotating in the minis of the Essie, but the minis that I have left, I just don't really like the color for this time of year. Normally around winter, I do prefer these kind of darker colors for my nail polish colors. So I'll see how I go with this one. And then for top coat, I am going to bring back in my Essie Platinum Grade Finish top coat. I don't know what it's called, but my Essie top coat that I had in quarter 1, I think I've only got 2 top coats, and I've got two top coats and a matte top coat. So I just thought I'd bring this one back because I'm not really interested at the moment in bringing the matte one in. For fragrances, it was a difficult decision, but I did decide to grab out the Sol de Janeiro body spray. This is basically like the Bum Bum cream, but in a body spray. I freaking love the smell of this. The only reason why I decided to rotate this in is because generally I buy one of the Sol de Janeiro value packs at Christmas time, and 9 times out of 10 the pack that I choose has one of these in it. So rather than ending up with like 2 in my collection, I thought that I would try and pan this before the Christmas sets come out. That's my reasoning behind that. Moving on to hair care items, I probably am being a little bit brave and bold considering I managed to use up so many products the last month. Given that, I'm probably feeling overly confident about hair care items, but I'll let you know. So first of all, I am bringing over Lush No Drought Dry Shampoo again. You guys know it's going to continue on going until I use it up completely. Then I have the KMS California Flat Out Straightening Cream. This one's basically full, so I am a glutton for punishment. We'll see how we go on this one. Basically, my reasoning behind bringing this one in is when normally I wear my hair up to work. It's just easier. Normally I wear my hair up to work. So on days that I do that, like wash my hair, blow dry it like straight, and then throw it up in a ponytail, I will use this. On days that I want to curl my hair, I am planning on reaching for my Davines Curl Building Serum. This was one that I started focusing on last year. I don't think I'm going to have this one finished by the end of the year, but again, I'd like to maybe use up maybe like 20 to 30 grams of it. I think I could easily do that. I think that would be a decent goal to try and aim for and reach. I think it's probably realistic as well. And then the last one I'm going to bring in, which is purely based on the number of the products in this category that I have. I don't necessarily use this kind of product all the time, but because I have so many in my collection, I decided to rotate it in. This is the TheMakeupEnthusiast hairspray. It's just one of the little like travel friendly sizes. For some reason I have like 6 hairsprays or something in my collection, and I like never use hairspray, so I thought that I would rotate it in, see how I go with trying to use it up, and just try and maybe get some out of my collection. It would be fantastic if I could get rid of them all, but I think realistically it'll take me a very long time to get through them, so we're gonna start that journey now. We'll see how we go. Oh gosh, pray for me. Send help. Send help. I've lost my mind. So that's all of the products that I am bringing in for Q3. And you guys know, as I did last quarter, I have already grabbed out, I think there might be like around maybe 30 samples in here, but I did grab out at least 25 to focus on for the next quarter. At least 25 to focus on for the next quarter in this box here, because you guys know my goal is at least 25 samples per quarter. So I've got them pulled out, selected, ready to go, and I'm just going to grab them out of this box as I see fit and try and focus on them. That is my extremely long update on Q2, refresh for Q3 on my Team Project Pan. Let me know down in the comments box how you're going on your project pan, if you are doing like some form of full face project pan. While you're down there, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you are new around here and you did enjoy this video, you want to keep updated on all future updates, then make sure you are subscribed down below. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.